Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've heard about the national dialogue that Cyril Ramaphosa is putting together that's going to cost the nation 700 million rand. Why? Nobody knows. But yeah, anyway, that's probably going to happen. But apparently, Ramaphosa has had a change of heart. Let's get into it.
My wife, she get it. Yeah.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. So for those of you who may not have heard of, although I doubt it very much because everybody's been talking about it, Ramaphosa wants to do a national dialogue in order to chat to certain individuals that he deems worthy of this dialogue to talk about the problems with South Africa and how South Africa can be fixed. But now it seems Ramaphosa has a slight change of heart because he says he wants to instruct organizers to reduce the national dialogue cost. President Ramaphosa said that while it aims to hear the voices of the country, more than 63 million population through various formations and structures, the cost will have to be brought down.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
President Cyril Ramaphosa said that he had instructed organizers of the upcoming national dialogue to reduce the current estimated price tag of 700 million rand. Ramaphosa said he was aware that many were fixated on the cost rather than what the dialogue seeks to achieve. Because nobody's fooled by you, Cyril Ramaphosa. Everybody knows that your dialogue is not going to achieve jack shit. That's why. Nobody believes that your dialogue is going to work. Nobody believes that your dialogue even needs to happen because you have been told what is wrong with South Africa. You have been told by many organizations how to fix South Africa. Take the Free Market Foundation, for example. I've told you many times to get rid of the race-based policies that you have in this country. You have been advised and spoken to many times by many NGOs and think tanks that have suggested to you how exactly you can turn South Africa around, but you have doubled down. That's what you've done. You said more BEE. We're not going to get rid of race-based policies. That's what you've said. Everything you have done is a result of your leadership. The Expropriation Act, NHI bill, all these things that are going to hurt South Africans more than anything else you have done. I'm just a comedian on YouTube. Even I know that you don't need 700 million rand to have a dialogue. Have a dialogue with me. Here's our dialogue. Here's our dialogue right now, Cyril Ramaphosa. Stop the communist bullshit. Try that. Try that. Just try. Just start focusing on giving South Africans what they want, okay? And they want to live a prosperous life. They want to be able to afford things. And how do you do that? Get rid of all your terrible policies that hinder economic growth rather than support it. And then transformation will happen automatically. It will happen. You won't even have to do anything. That's how amazing the free market works. But anyway, I want to bring up something else, okay? 700 million rand. For what exactly? That's the biggest question, and I have to agree with SkyZA here when she said, this is brilliant, I love this tweet. Reacting to this headline on X, she said, Zoom is free, Cyril Ramaphosa, and then she gives him the website. I mean, you gotta admit, she's got a point, right? Zoom is free. And you don't need 30 minutes chat, you don't need an hour chat, you don't need anything like that. I don't know. I feel like 700 million rand, it's the same thing with the flag. You guys remember that? When Cyril wanted to build this like huge flag that was going to cost an exorbitant amount because he wanted to erect a flag, the biggest flag in South Africa. That was ridiculous. People went crazy about that, and rightfully so. And then they changed their mind about it. And I think this is kind of happening now again. Like, you know, 700 million to have a conversation with a few individuals on what's wrong with South Africa. But again, just watch this channel, Cyril Ramaphosa. Focus or divert your attention a little bit to the Free Market Foundation or Sakaliga or AfriForum or any of these great NGOs that have been screaming and telling you and wanting to have meetings with you to tell you what is wrong with South Africa and how to fix it, and you keep ignoring them. Instead, you listen to your South African Communist Party and COSATU, who are all socialist in nature and believe that that is the right course for South Africa. And yet, over the years in South Africa, we've seen even more poverty. The country is not any safer. Unemployment, the highest it's ever been, especially with the youth. Education in its moor. The public health sector is in its moor. SAPS in its moor. Justice system getting in its moor. It's all falling apart, ladies and gentlemen. Don't even get me started on Eskom, because that's also hanging on by a thread, and they're spending a lot of money on diesel to keep that alive. Anyways, my rant is over. I'd really like to know your thoughts on the national dialogue and Cyril asking them to, let's cut back the expenses, guys. Okay, we're a little bit over budget here. Let's just keep it to 650 million rand. Kidding. I don't know if he said that, but I mean, that's probably what's going to happen, right? They'll keep it to 650 million rand and be like, but look, guys, we saved like 50 million rand. Like, come on, we did our job. We listened. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you're watching this on X, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube. Drop a like, drop a follow, subscribe, share far and wide. You know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for all the support and all the kindness. And I would just like to take a moment to thank all the recent super thanks that were given, or Sasa thanks as we call them on this channel. Alex Harkonnen 01234 giving 40 rand, super thanks. Thanks, Alex. Utopian Freak giving 50 dirhams. Thank you, Utopian Freak. And Alex again giving 100 rand, super thanks. Thank you, Alex, once again. And Sean Stratum giving 70 rand, super thanks. Thank you, Sean. Super thanks or Sasa thanks go a long way to supporting the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you feel generous and if you want to thank and you want to support me, go ahead and give those super thanks. But what else you can do is also please become a member to the channel. It goes a long way to supporting me and helping me to produce content for you guys. And with all that being said, thanks for watching. Your Newsflash is in.
See if you can guess the movie from The Ring. First movie.
Is that a pinky? What am I actually looking at here? Oh, that's Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I couldn't for the life of me figure out what part of the hand I was looking at.
All right, next movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's no dirtier hands in movies. This is Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is correct. Yep. How to throw it in here. It wouldn't be a ring round without it. You know?
No, of course. You have to put this in.
Next movie.
I had it for a sec, completely lost it. I think I just got it back, though. Is this going on The Duchess by chance?
Wow.
All right, cool. Give me Wolf of Wall Street.
Dude, well done. I'm impressed. I thought you would go a few different routes on this. I'm not going to lie. All right, next movie.
Oh, hello. Right? Yeah. This is Spider-Man 3 when he's trying to propose to MJ.
Pekka. Parker. Pekka. That's what I said.
That's what
Pekka.
I say. Pekka.
So good, dude. Well done. All right, man. You know your rings. Love to see it. Let's see if we can close out strong with the fifth. Last movie.
Oh, man. Same with Wolf of Wall Street. I had it right when I looked at it, and then I looked too long and I lost it. Okay. All right. So what is the ring? Looks like not a rock or anything, right? Just some design. What is she doing here? Is she touching her own self? Looks like in between two things, though. Is she touching a pregnant belly?
Not a pregnant belly, but she's holding something.
She's holding a child.
Okay.
She's holding a baby. Okay.
But the bigger concern is the ring itself.
God, I don't know. I'm not there at all.
The quote-unquote husband is looking at this ring and is freaking out.
Shit. Is that his grandmother's Holocaust ring?
It could be.
This is Carlos.
Yeah, correct.
This is The Hangover.
The Hangover's correct. Yep.
Oh, man, that's really too bad, dude. That's really
I didn't know they
bad.
gave out rings at the Holocaust.